Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to talk about money management. Okay, so this is still part of the Woman of Substance series, and a woman of substance needs to learn how to manage her money, because the reality is a girl has a lot to spend on herself, and when she gets older and she has a family, there's a lot more to spend. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So obviously if you see me looking down, I'm looking at the notes that I got on my laptop, so I don't end up forgetting what I'm going to say in this video. So a woman of substance needs to have a good relationship with money. Right, so let's face it, a girl's expenses is a lot more than a guy, because a girl has a lot to take care of: her nails, her feet, her body, her clothes, moisturizer, hair cream, hair products, all that kind of stuff, jewelries, makeup. There's a lot more to spend on a girl, and when a girl gets older and she has family, then she also has to spend money on her kids, spend money on buying food in the house. So it's important that as a girl, if you want to be a woman of substance or whatever, you need to learn how to have a good relationship with money, because if you don't have a good relationship with money, the time you need money or any emergency pops up, you're going to be broke. And due to lack of money, some women have decided to become prostitutes. Some women have forced themselves into marrying a rich man that they are not physically attracted to, just so that they can have money to meet all their needs, forgetting that you have a God in heaven who is invisible. You have a Father in heaven who's invisible, that can supply all your needs and wants. When you don't allow God to supply your needs and your wants for you, you start to make sacrifices that could hurt you physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually. And that's why when you see all these people who get into prostitution, or they join the porn industry, or they decide to become slaves so that they can earn a little bit of money, or they just do stuff that they know deep down that they don't like doing, it hurts you in the inside. And sometimes when something hurts you in the inside, it's really hard to work on it. Sometimes it's even hard to notice it unless if somebody else tells you. I understand, yeah, as we get older, our responsibility, our expenses increases. Okay, me sitting down here, there are things that I want, and to be honest, everything that I need I have. Okay, and I don't just have it because I can afford it. I have it because I trust on God, I rely on God. I'm gonna give you guys an example. When I started this YouTube channel, I started with my phone and I had no job. God told me to leave my job, and God told me to start my YouTube channel, and I said, God, okay, I'll start this YouTube channel with what I have, but at some point I want a Canon 700D, and a Canon 700D is about like 580 pounds. And bear in mind, I had no job. I was on job seekers allowance. For those of you that don't know, in the UK, job seekers allowance is a money that the government gives you, and it's not even that much. It's like £100 every 2 weeks, so it's absolutely nothing. It's better than nothing, but it's not really something. So when I told God that, I said, God, I want this camera. I also want a laptop, because I've never had my own laptop. I wanted a MacBook Pro, and I wrote it down on a sheet of paper, and I remember I was telling God, I said, God, how am I going to get these things when I have no job and I'm still looking for a job? And the only thing God told me was, listen, don't worry about it, I'm going to supply it to you. Don't worry about it, just keep doing what I asked you to do. And within a few months later, bear in mind, I had no job. I'm gonna do a separate video on this. I don't want this video to keep I'm going to do a separate video about this testimony, but after a few months I got this camera and I still had no job. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it in a different video, but what I want you guys to get out of this experience that I had is that do not feel like you need to make big huge sacrifices in order for you to get money. God does not delight in seeing his children suffer. He's not happy when he sees his children suffer. He's not happy when he sees his children who are poor or eating from the bushes, or they're in a country where it's been bombed up. God's not happy to see all of that. So you need to understand that if God is not happy to see you in that situation, then God is willing to help you in that situation, but you have to come to him. This is the bit that we don't do. We just tell God that, God, you know, I don't have this, and I need this, and I need that, and then we tell tell God all of that, but then we get up and we still try to do it our own way. That's indirectly saying that, God, I know you exist and I know you can supply my needs, but I'm still going to go out there and still try and do it myself because I am still stubborn. Now, you might be wondering, well, Dami, if God does not delight in seeing his children suffer, then why do we have poor people in this world? Why does God allow cancer? Why does God allow this, God allow that? God does not allow anything bad to happen to people. But what's wrong is people don't believe in him, people don't pray to him, people don't worship him, people don't acknowledge him. So if you don't, if you don't pray, you know, God does not have to come down and help you, because the rule is you're supposed to pray. You're supposed to open your mouth and say what you want. You're supposed to seek to find. You're supposed to knock so the door can be open. But if you're not doing any of that, you can't just expect God to come down and start doing everything for you. That's not how it works. You have to open your mouth. You have to pray. You have to depend on God. You have to trust God that, God, I trust you that you're going to do it. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I know you're going to do it. And I know you're going to come through to me at some point. You don't learn to depend on God and to trust God to supply your needs, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, you're going to get abused, and you're probably going to suffer even more. God cannot force himself on anyone, but he can reveal himself to everyone, but he can't force himself on anyone. And the reality is, when he reveals himself to you, you can't go back to the way you used to be. It's not possible. Now, let me give you guys a scripture, okay, to lift your spirit up. So if you go to Jeremiah 29 from 11 to 13, it says, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, the plans to prosper you and not to harm you, and the plan to give you hope and future. And then you can call on me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you, and you will seek me and find me, and when you seek me with all your heart. So your job is to seek him. His job is for him to come through and to do what we ask him to do. If you want God to supply your needs, you have to 100% rely and depend on him. A lot of girls, because in this society, everyone's saying, well, a man has to provide, a man has to provide this, a man has to pay the bills, and I believe in all of that because God naturally has created men to provide. But another thing is, you know, in this world, people can have a job today and in 3 weeks' time they could be jobless. So you have to always think that even though it's a man's job to supply, it's a man's job to provide, you need to also pray for your man, because some men, they've been jobless for a while and they've been pushed to do things that they shouldn't have done because their wives depend on them and they don't depend on God to help their husband out. Okay, it still comes back to depending on God. Even for your boyfriend, your husband, or whoever you're engaged to be able to provide, they still need to depend on God, because God is not going to throw the money down, but God will give you an idea. God will drop something in your spirit to bring the money into your bank account. So at the end of the day, you still need to depend on God. I see girls who have this mentality of, you know, I'm looking for a rich man, I want to get married to a rich man so that I can buy this and I can do this and I can do that, forgetting that rich man that you saw did not just wake up in money. He worked hard to get money. He got up and he looked for something to do. He looked for a gift to produce money. Or some men, they got up and they asked God, God, reveal to me what you called me to do, and they've decided to do it, and as a result of that, they got money. So don't just think that, oh, I don't need to rely on God. I'm just going to wait for the right man to come and I'm going to tell him this, that I want this, I need this, I need that. That's a liability mentality. You don't want to be a burden to someone. You want to be able to financially provide for yourself as well. If someone wants to provide for you, good, that's a bonus. But you need to be secure in what you're earning as well. It's important as a girl that you have some kind of earning going on for yourself. Unless if you're dealing with a guy that tells you, you know, I don't want you to work, I'm a provide for you. You don't need to go into work and do an 8-hour shift or whatever. Stay home, chill with me or whatever. Okay, cool. But it's not everyone that's going to be in that shoe, unfortunately. So my advice is to make sure that you depend on God, fully depend on him to supply all your needs, because there'll be times where when you're married, your man might be jobless for a while. and you're putting a lot of pressure on him instead of you to go on your knees and pray to God for God to help him out to do something so he can bring money into the house. Some men are doing dirty stuff to get money, not because they want to, but because there's that pressure from their wives, there's that pressure from their girlfriend. So as a result of that, instead of them to depend on God, they're going out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and then they get locked up in jail. And even when they get locked up in jail, it's not like these girls are going to wait for them to come out. They're going to move on to somebody else. So you need to fully depend on God. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. It didn't even say I shall not, I wouldn't lack any needs. It says I shall not want. This camera for me is not even, it's not really a need, it's a want. No, the camera is a need, but the type of camera was a want. I could have settled and gone for a camera that was £150 or a camera that was £250. You know what I mean? But I made it specifically clear. I said, God, I want it to be a Canon 700D. I'm very specific with what I want. A lot of people, they preach and they say, well, God is not going to give you what you want. He's going to give you what you need. I don't know what God you're serving. The God that I serve gives me what I need. At the same time, he gives me what I want. And if what I want is not good for me, he will tell me that I don't need. So what I want you to understand is, when you have a good relationship with money, even if you don't have a job, there should still be money in your bank account. Okay, from your savings. And also, managing your money is not all about saving your money. Even when it comes to getting a loan, you know, get a loan on something that's going to be an investment. Don't get a loan on something that, you know, you're getting a loan on a, I don't know, like you're getting a loan on clothes, or you're getting a loan on jewelry. To me, it's ridiculous, unless if it's a wedding ring. You know what I mean? But apart from that, if you're going to get a loan, make sure you don't get too many loans. Because what I find in most of these European countries, yeah, even though they do the whole pay monthly thing, which is good and it helps some people out, and I'm even doing some, I find that this pay monthly thing as well, you could end up becoming broke by doing this pay monthly thing. Like this MacBook Pro now is on a monthly, like I pay for it monthly, and very soon I'm planning to pay it off because I don't want too much direct debit going off my bank account. Because when you have too much going on in your bank account, then you have a lot of untransactional fees that need to be paid, and then they charge you for that, and then you just realize that the money that you could have saved, you've spent it on stuff that you can't even see, like things that are intangible, right? Because you do a lot of pay monthly here, pay monthly this, pay monthly that. Try to minimize it. It's part of managing your money. And another thing that allows women not to have a good relationship with money is when you guys are competing against each other. I don't know what's wrong with girls who like to compete with other girls when it comes to clothes, makeup, shoes, bag. Listen, you are your own. There's only you. You are beautiful in your own way. You don't need to copy somebody's outfit. You don't need to compete against another girl. Just slay in your own lane, okay? Slay in your own lane. That's what I do. 50 people could be wearing the same thing. I'll just wear something opposite because I don't like us looking the same. Personally, I don't like it. But if I can't afford it, I'm not going to buy it. And if I can afford it, then I will buy it. But I'm not going to put myself under pressure. I'm not going to put myself into getting a loan, put myself into debt, and then before you know it, I'm broke, all because of fashion, all because I want to look better than my friend. You're beautiful in your own way, okay? So make sure you learn how to manage your money. A woman of substance learns how to manage her money. She learns how to have a relationship with money. She learns how to make profit with what she is selling or what she's doing, and she learns to use the work of her hands to bring money into her bank account, okay? Because a lot of us, especially black people, we always look for free service. We don't like to pay for the services around us. I don't know why. I remember a girl on her wedding day, she said she's going to do the cookie on her wedding day. I said to myself, I think she's crazy. Why don't you call the caterer to come and do it? That's why we have caterer. That's why we have people who have food service, so that you can call them to cook on your wedding day. Why would you cook on your wedding day? To me, that's not managing your money. That's just you not using the services around you. Do Do you get me? If I'm managing my money, I would have put money aside for the food for the wedding. Which girl is going to have time to cook food on her wedding day? Like, seriously, this is the day you're supposed to be chilling, you're supposed to be having fun, and you're busy stirring jollof rice, stirring fried rice. Oh my days. I said, nah, come on, black people, we need to get out of this. Use the services around you. Don't just think that, oh, I'm managing my money trying to do DIY. There's some things you can do DIY on, and then there's some things you need to pay for the services around you. If I want to do a professional photo shoot, just because I've got a good camera doesn't mean that I can do it. Do you get me? Because the place matters, the background matters, the size of the camera matters, what I'm wearing matters. So I call someone who can do it for me and pay for that service. And if I know I can't get it right now, then I save up and get it done. You get me? So there's a difference between managing your money and not using the services around you. They're two different things. You can manage your money and use services around you and still save your money. Whenever you're spending money, make sure you put your future into consideration. Okay? So if you know that you're called to be a designer, you're called to be an artist, a singer, you know them jobs that require you to use your hands, what else, an instrumentalist, stuff like that, you need money. You constantly need money, especially as a designer. Every day you need money, like, because things are just so expensive. Things are so expensive. You're always needing something. You're always wanting something to get it done. And now that I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, I'm really wise with how I spend my money now, because I need to invest more money in what I love doing, not in what I love to wear. There'll be a time where I will have enough money that I could be changing clothes every single day the way I like. I could change clothes 3 to 4 times a day. But for now, I know where I'm going and I know where I need to spend my money on. So I have to cut down on some things. Do you know what I mean? Just because you cut down on some things doesn't mean you can't look beautiful. And when you're broke, still try to look beautiful, okay? Don't look like you're broke because you're broke. Still try to look like you're rich even though you're broke. Alright? If you understand what I mean, you'll understand what I mean. I don't mean go and get a loan and make yourself look rich when you're broke. No, you can make yourself look rich with the little things that you have around you. Looking rich doesn't mean that you're wearing designer outfit. You can smell good, you can look good, look fresh, look clean. That's it. Carry yourself well. You know what I mean? You can still look like you're doing well. When I'm broke, yeah, a lot of people, if you're really, really close to me, and you want to know whether, you know, she got money in her account or not, or whether I'm saving, I probably won't be getting my nose done for a while, because it's not a priority. It's just something that I do if I have the money to do it. Or maybe for a while I might not get my toes done, or maybe for a while I need to cut back on the amount of makeup that I put on, you know what I mean, because those are broke seasons. But when money comes back in your bank account, learn to manage your money, learn to have a relationship with money. Always have it in your mind, when I have no job, there should still be money in your bank account, because there could be a time where God say, I want you to leave that job, and there's nothing in your account. Even though God is going to supply your needs, but we also have to use common sense here. You still need to learn how to save, and you still need to learn how to manage your money. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do make sure you like, share and subscribe to the channel. Until my next video, stay blessed and stay beautiful. Bye.